Cars Channel News and Review Car.
(2018) DS7 Crossback. Citroën has been around since 1919, but its premium sub-brand, DS Automobiles, has only been around since its announcement back in 2009, making the brand just shy of a decade old. Since then, the brand has released a few concepts and no fewer than 6 individual models that include the DS3, DS6, 2 iterations of the DS4, and 2 iterations of the DS5. Now with the upcoming Geneva Auto Show, the DS brand is set to release a new SUV, aptly called the DS7. It will fight against models like the Lexus NX, Audi Q2, and even the BMW X1, a tall order, but not exactly unfathomable given the looks, luxury, and comfort offered by the brand's newest SUV uhem Crossback. Designed with comfort and performance in mind, the DS7 features a plug-in hybrid drivetrain that delivers some 300 ponies through all 4 wheels when needed. Features like DS Night Vision, DS Active Scan Suspension, DS Connected Pilot, and a pair of 12-inch screens inside are present, all of which poses a strong proposition for the competition. There are even rumors that this newest model could, in fact, bring the Citroën brand or at least some derivative of it back to the US for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Of course, word has it that its initial re-entry will be through a company called Travel Car, which would help the brand introduce its newest models to the US market as rental or ride-share vehicles. But, before we get too far ahead of ourselves and get too excited, that's still some time away, and the DS7 is still headed to Geneva Motor Show. So, let us take a better look at DS' newest SUV and talk more about it. I've never been a big fan of the Citroën brand, but that shouldn't be too surprising given the brand's current markets and the sheer amount of time it has been absent from the US, but that wasn't the only reason the brand's cars just never rubbed me right. They always looked a little goofy to me. But, then, Citroën launched the DS brand, and I found it quickly added to my list of favorite manufacturers. Like the models that came before it, the DS7 is sleek and sexy, with lines in all of the right places, and enough power to back up its looks. Up front, there's a large grille with a tightly weaved crisscross mesh accented by chrome strips on the sides and bottom. That bottom chrome strip runs almost the full width of the front fascia on a little shelf of sorts that creates the upper foundation for the lower air dam and the recessed corners that house the fog lights. Small, curved LED strips are embedded in the outer edges of the front fascia and serve as daytime running lights. Up above, the headlights take on a unique shape with a flat outer edge. The hood itself is somewhat beefy with raised outside edges, and mild body lines in the center to accompany them. Moving over to the side profile, we see more of that French ingenuity and brilliant design that's both pleasing to look at and aggressive enough to draw interest. A single, sharp body line runs from the front fenders to the outermost point of the rear taillight housing, fading smooth between the front and rear doors. Down below, a slightly concave area adds more character above the plastic cladding that makes up the side skirt. Above the beltline, the DS7 is well defined with bold chrome trim surrounding the side glass and coming to a sharp point on the upper rear quarter. Low-sitting roof racks sit on the roof and are also finished in chrome to match the taillight housings, front trim, and window garnishing. Around back, it's more of the same in a DS kind of way. The hatch itself is somewhat bubble and has jagged edges. The rear overhang is complemented by side panels that give the rear glass a look of depth toward to the top and sides. Down below, the taillights feature a unique and interesting matrix layout and are outlined in chrome. There are chrome extensions on the rear quarters, just to the outside of the rear hatch seams. However, these are just for looks and don't appear to house any actual lights. Down below, a large reflector resides in each corner of the fascia, while that black cladding extends upward toward to the top of the rear fascia and serves as home for the integrated exhaust outlets and a mild-looking splitter-like element that adds just a little more style to the rear end. All rear glass is lightly tinted, while the wheels down below feature black gloss accents within the crevasse of each spoke. According to DS, the LED headlights are active and adapt in width and range based on road conditions and vehicle speed. The system is called Active LED Vision, and are made up of the main LED units and 3 rotating modules that can swivel up, down, left, and right. It seems as if the system is fully automatic and cannot be adjusted manually, but can be set to a number of different modes that include town beam, country beam, motorway beam, adverse weather, and high beam. There are a number of competitors in the compact SUV segment, but word has it that DS is aiming primarily at models like the BMW X1, above, and the Lexus NX, below. Competing against models like these isn't easy by any means, even in terms of exterior design. Take the X1, for instance. It's essentially a low-riding SUV with the sporty characteristics of smaller BMW cars like the 2 and 4 Series. Up front, it's got the traditional kidney grills to go with a wide-mouth air dam down below and fake corner vents that add a bit of sporty flair to the front end. The hood isn't anywhere near as muscular or defined as that of the DS7, but that's okay because the X1 looks right just the way it is. Where the DS7 has small headlight lenses and square fog lights, the X1 gets larger, geometrically sound headlights that are taller on the outside than the inside, while its fog lights are round and integrated into the front fascia above the recess in the corners. The X1 differs from some other BMW models as the side profile is actually somewhat aggressive and comparable to that of the DS7. A distinct body line resides below the belt line and follows the same grade as the belt line itself. The roof is sloped downward toward the rear, which makes the stationary rear quarter glass look bigger than it is from a distance. Around back, BMW kept things fairly basic with split tail light units and thick cladding on the lower fascia that also houses a silver insert with the exhaust outlets just below it. In a sense, the X1 has morphed into a baby X5, so if you're a fan of the X5, you'll most certainly dig the updated X1. The Lexus NX, on the other hand, is still a toddler in Lexus lineup as it was just introduced for the 2015 model year. That means it'll be a couple of years old when the 2018 DS7 hits dealers, but its looks are bold and should still be well within the grid of attractiveness when that time comes. Up front, the NX sports Lexus spindle grille to go with triangular headlights, a horizontally embedded LED strip, and a deep gouge in each corner of the front fascia. Sitting at the lowest possible point in each corner is a thin LED fog light that blends into the fascia with near perfection thanks to the lip just below it. The side profile isn't quite as bold as that of the DS7 or the X1, for that matter, but the mild body line below the waist and the lines down below that cut a triangular shape into the body just somehow works. It does look a little awkward from the side when you look at the front fascia because of those weird gouges, but it is sporty nonetheless.